What's up, people? I've got a short update. There have been a couple of companies that have reached out to me and said, "Hey, everything all right? Where are you at? Are we still doing our tests and reviews?" And I just want to update everybody on where I've been. I've been MIA here on YouTube for about 5 to 6 weeks since my last upload. Those of you that have been following me, I think you kind of understand that in springtime, going into summer, I do a lot of traveling. I'm busy at work. Like, for example, today I'm sitting in the parking lot at work. It's a Saturday. I've been volunteering a lot on Saturdays, helping out. It's not my normal work day. I've been getting 2 days off rather than 3. Normally I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but recently I've been covering on Saturday, so things are a little busy for me. Springtime also rolls around. The wife wants to do a lot of traveling. Like last year, we went to Bar Harbor, Maine. Amazing. Acadia National Park was up there. And we drove down to Walt Disney World in Florida. We stayed there for a couple of days. Then we drove over to Port Canaveral and we jumped on the Wonder of the Seas, Royal Caribbean, went to Mexico and Honduras for 7 days. Then we came back and we did a little jump off spots for long weekends. Did a lot of traveling last year. The year before, oh my God, it was like 2.5 weeks driving all around the country. We started in Chicago. We went to, and by the way, Chicago's beautiful. If you've never been to Chicago and all you've ever done is watch the news or Fox News and they're telling you that it's horrible and it's full of, violent crime, not in Chicago. No, I don't know where they're getting their statistics from, but Chicago is amazing. I would go back to Chicago in a heartbeat. It's that nice of a city and it's clean. It's wild how clean it is. So we stayed in Chicago, then we went to Mount Rushmore. Awesome. Then from there, we drove to Yellowstone National Park. Now, all these drives were like 15 to 18-hour gaps, a drive to get to one spot. After Yellowstone, we went to the Grand Canyon. We were in Grand Canyon for almost a week. Then we went to Zion National Park, if I remember correctly. A lot of little places we stopped in between. And then on our way home, we stopped in Colorado, and we ended up in Telluride by accident, Colorado, and that was awesome. And then that was a 31-hour drive from Telluride, Colorado to Philadelphia, PA. It was 31 hours straight, only stopping for gas. That was fun. I did the first 18. I took a nap for a couple hours, woke up, took over, and drove the rest. That was a wild drive. But with the Wagoneer, it was a lot of fun. So this year's no different. Springtime rolls around. The wife says, "I want to go to Tennessee." And I'm like, why? Why do you want to go to Tennessee? I've been through Tennessee. I never knew there was anything there to go see, honestly. I was just ignorant of Tennessee. But I can tell you, after being to Tennessee, I recommend everyone go to Tennessee. Check out Tennessee. She tells me she wants to go to Pigeon Forge. I'm like, Pigeon what? Never even heard of Pigeon Forge. She's like, yeah, that's where that Dolly Parton world is or whatever. And I know who Dolly Parton is because I'm 54, but I'm like, what are you talking about? I want to go to like some country bumpkin thing. I look up Pigeon Forge and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of cool attractions in Pigeon Forge. It was wild how nice it was. So I was looking forward to it. We stayed in Pigeon Forge the first 2 nights. Or was it first 3 nights? I forget. First 2 nights, I think we stayed in Pigeon Forge. And then every day we'd get up and we drove all the way to Rocky Mountain National Forest to do some hiking. She hit all these trails, see these waterfalls. We stopped in Gatlinburg. I recommend staying in Gatlinburg. It's right next to Pigeon Forge, about 10 minutes away. But if you have kids or you just like to walk a strip at night after you've been out traveling, right? Like let's say you visit Pigeon Forge and you're going to all these attractions where you'll drive and park at each attraction because it's so spread out. In Gatlinburg, you can literally just walk up and down this strip that goes up the hill, up this mountain, right? I don't know if it's about a mile or 2 long, but there's live music, food spots everywhere, taste testing everywhere. If you like to drink alcohol, I mean, there was unlimited taste testing for like moonshine. What is that? Cider, apple cider beer, whatever. Just wine, just everywhere. restaurants, shops, tourist stuff, all, up and down, and they have some attractions there also. So you can go check out Gatlinburg, stay there. And then when you want to go visit Pigeon Forge, drive from Gatlinburg to Pigeon Forge. And then when you're done at night and you get back and you eat dinner and you shower and you want to go out on the town, walk up and down Gatlinburg. That's my recommendation. We went to Sweetwater, Tennessee to see this thing called the Lost Sea. It's just basically a mini lake underground at the bottom of this cavern that you got to walk to. And then you take a little boat ride and tell you the whole history of how it was found. And they don't know where the water goes to this day. There are colorless trout in this cavern that never see the light of day. And the reason why they stocked it originally with trout was hoping that the trout would find a way out and they'd be able to find them and be like, this is how they did it. Scientists to this day don't know how the water drains out of this thing. So that's pretty cool, I guess. From there, we drove over to Ruby Falls and we stayed 2 nights in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Ruby Falls, it's 1,100 plus meters underground. It's a cavern. You take an elevator down first, like 7 stories. I forget how many stories. You get to the bottom, and then you're walking through this cavern. And it's the whole history of how this guy found it, and he named it after his wife, Ruby. And he got to this very end, and before they dug out like a decent path and trail and all, like it's nuts how I could never do this. 8-9 hours, claustrophobic, squeezing through, no way. But there's a waterfall underground, looks like this. It's pretty freaking cool. My wife loved it. I was like, hey, water falling from rocks. All right, let's start our hour walk back. But yeah, I recommend going to Chattanooga if you have kids and checking out Ruby Falls. Right next door, they'll probably love Rock City. That's awesome too. Check out Rock City right next door. From there, we went back and stayed in Pigeon Forge again till our trip was over and did some stuff there. When I got back, I'm like so unlucky this year. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because I'm watching this hawk. He was hovering. I guess he was looking for prey or something. All right, now he flew away. Anyway, I get back from vacation, first day back at work. And that night, I'm like, oh man, I'm just not feeling good. I tell my boss, I said, hey, Ash, something's coming on. I feel I'm getting sick. And she's like, what's up? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm dehydrated. She's like, well, go to the van. We got some orange juice in there. Grab some orange juice. And I'm like, okay. Drank some orange juice. I finished out the night. 0400 I left. And I'm like, orange juice isn't cutting it. Something's up. I got home, took my temperature. I had like a 102 fever. That's not good. I'm burning up. It's like, shit. Something's coming on. I had no respiratory issues, no sniffles, no cough, none of that. I took some NyQuil, and then that night, trying to sleep, I stayed downstairs in the family room on a couch because I didn't want to be around wife and the baby and the kids. I tried to segregate myself in the house. Well, the fever, then I had chills, cold sweat, then the muscle aches. This was like COVID. Muscle aches starting in my middle of my back, worked its way all the way down to my ass. And let me tell you, I couldn't sit, sleep, roll on my side. I couldn't get comfortable without 2 extra strength Tylenol. It was that painful. And that lasts for a few days. Fever breaks down. It's kind of like a mild grade fever. And it's starting to go away. Pain after 4 days disappears. And I'm like, ready to go back to work. All right. We had off that Monday. And I'm like, all right, here we go. I go back to work. Or I thought I was going to go back to work. I wake up. I'm covered head to toe in a post-viral rash. I look sunburned. I was red. It's the only way to describe it. It wasn't high-V, didn't itch. I was red, head to toe. And I'm like, I could probably go to work looking like this, but I'll never hear the end of it. Let me take a sick day. Stayed home. Took some Benadryl, which didn't help. Next day, it was gone. All right. Ready to go back to work. Go back to work. That day in particular is my night to Marshall Park Aircraft. Most of the night was pretty smooth. I was feeling all right until the aircraft started coming in. And after about the second or third aircraft I parked, I started to feel in my shoulders this burning pain. The only way to describe it, if you ever tore your rotator cuff or tore any type of muscle, it felt like that. Now I have a torn rotator cuff, so I know exactly what that felt like when it happened. And this was feeling similar. And I was like, oh my God, how did I hurt both of my shoulders? Right? Couldn't lift my arms and my hands. I have carpal tunnel that I deal with. It was like carpal tunnel times 10. My hands were just so sore and hurt. I was like, I can't lift my arms. I can't grip anything. Holy crap, what is going on? Had to go tell my boss, hey, I got to go home. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm still not over whatever the hell I had, apparently, because now this is what's happening. And then for 5 days, I dealt with arthritis, post-viral arthritis. It started off the next morning, like, I couldn't even, like, the pain was horrible. So I sympathize with anybody that has arthritis or has dealt with this. I really sympathize with you because I don't like that pain. So I would have to like run my hand under cold water and hot water to get it to loosen up. That lasts for another week. So the first week was all the other symptoms, and second week was that. And just as I got over it, my wife wasn't sick. My second oldest wasn't sick. My oldest daughter, who's 22, she had similar condition before me, but not as bad, right? Now we have a almost 3-year-old. And one day she just, right after I'm getting done all this, she's got red cheeks, like this rash right on her cheeks. Looked like somebody did that to her, right? I'm like, what the hell is that? The next day, it went to her arms. It was like patchy, dry, no fever, no itch, not bothering her. She's still running around. I'm like, what the hell she got? Then she started complaining about her foot, saying she had a boo-boo on her foot, which a week prior, she stepped on something, cut her little tiny cut, cleaned it out. There was nothing there, but if your child's complaining about something, get it checked out. Have a professional look at it, right? So I'm like, I have to take off from work again. Go to the hospital. So I took her to CHOP. The doctor's checking her foot, and she's like, I don't think there's anything in here. But she also checks out her cheeks and arms and goes, but I do know why she has a rash. And I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, she's got, it's called slap cheek syndrome, AKA fifth disease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth disease. Never heard of that in my entire life growing up. I think it's caused by the parvovirus, she said. I don't know, I have to look on the internet. Fifth disease. And I'm like, oh. She goes, yeah, it's going around right now. It's real prevalent. And don't worry, works itself out. Tends to be mild in kids, and she'll still be fine and everything. And I'm like, okay. And I said, what about adults? Can adults get this? And she goes, oh, yeah. She goes, it's usually worse in adults. And I went, you don't say. Like how? And she starts checking all the boxes off of every freaking thing I had. And I'm like, oh, that would have been me 2 weeks ago. I had all that. I didn't miss anything. Do I win a cookie or something because I had every symptom you mentioned? Yeah, so apparently that's going around. And now I'm back to work, and I started doing content again, and I got videos that are edited, ready to be uploaded. I have to do that later today in my free time, which is very limited right now. But dealing with all this vacation, which I still have another one coming up in 2 more weeks. We're going, we just rented a house down in Ocean City for a week. So we're going to be going down the shore for a week. But during all this, those of you that have been watching, I've talked about companies that I test and review products for. Some of them are good. Some of them are just straight trash. And the ones that are usually trash are the annoying ones. And I dealt with this one that, let me tell you, if he's watching right now, if you're the coffee maker guy and you're watching this video, or if you're affiliated with the coffee maker company and you know the coffee maker guy who sends out the emails, smack him in the back of the head and tell him, stop harassing content creators. Stop harassing the people you send the product to test and review. We don't have contracts. I never sign a contract with any of these companies because that would violate my integrity. A lot of companies, this one included, wanted me, they were going to compensate me. They wanted me to do a test and review and then send them the footage for pre-approval. Get out of here. Pre-approval? How is that fair? If I trash your product, you're going to tell me you can't upload it. So I don't sign any of that crap. There's also no timelines. Send it when we get to it, because our time is limited for YouTube. Family first and work. We'll get to it eventually, but there's no timelines. This guy, oh my God, every single day of my vacation. And I'm like, hey man, I'm on vacation right now. I'm not doing any reviews. And the next day he would be like, hope vacation's going well. When do we have an idea of, I don't know, next day. Is vacation going good? When do you plan on, bro, I don't know means I don't know. When I get to it, I get to it. Then he started sending me messages saying, well, we were expecting to have this done by the end of May. I don't give a shit. Who's we? Not me. I don't care if I get it done by May of 2028. I never agreed to any timeline. So if you're a potential company that wants to reach out and send us a product to review, pay close attention, right? I had to tell this person, if you send me another email, I'm going to throw that coffee maker in the trash. Probably not, but I'll definitely not review it in the next 6 months. It's right now sitting in my garage at the bottom of a pile of other boxes. It's not even getting put in line with everything else right now, because that's how irritated this guy was, or how irritated I was at this guy sending me emails. You know, I try not to let things bother me, but every once in a while. So that's it. That's where I've been. I do have some stuff to put up, some actually cool stuff that I found on both the TikTok shop. Believe it or not, the TikTok shop has got some gold on it. I've purchased some crap on there. It's hit or miss, but I found some stuff that I could not believe they were able to sell cheaply. Just, so I'll share that with you guys and girls, hopefully soon. I have to get inside because I have some aircraft to park and get to work here. If you have any questions for me, or you just want to say hi, drop me a comment below. Before you go, if you do like this channel and you forgot, click the like button, click the little bell notification next to it, and click subscribe. That actually helps us out. And the more we get people-wise, the bigger the products we are able to review and then give away. Because if you've been around for a minute, I give away dash cams. So I'm going to wrap this up. All of you be safe, healthy, and enjoy life. That's all I got today. I'm out.